Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the N8N series. Yesterday we looked at some of the basic things about automation like what is triggers, what is actions, and we also created our account to get started with our first automation on N8N. I hope you all are ready. So can we get started with our first automation? So let's see how do we create our first automation on N8N. Like we discussed yesterday, once you create your account, you should be seeing this dashboard or the overview section, right? All of it is 0 because we have not created any automations as of now. And we can test a simple AI agent example from here or start from scratch. We will start from scratch today, right? And we could also create projects from here so that the automations related to a particular project can go into a particular folder. Now we have admin panel here, templates, variables, insights, all of that we will cover as we move further. Let's get started with our first automation by clicking on start from scratch. Once you click on that, you can see a blank canvas, okay, with a plus sign in the center. Now, if you hold space, you can move the screen around, right? And if you hold scroll, then you can zoom in or zoom out. Both of this will be helpful when you have a large automation created and you want to move around the screen. We will get there as we keep going into the series. Before we get started, let's quickly have a look at what are the options available. So this is the personal section. Okay, it is not related to any projects. So it is under personal. And my workflows, I can make it as my first N8N automation. And you could also add some tags like line project. It could be simple, right? I mean, whatever tags which makes sense for you, right? You could add that. Editor is where you can edit all the steps. Executions is where you can see all the executions that has happened with regards to this particular workflow. And evaluation is where you can evaluate things. We will cover each of this one by one, not everything in one go. So to begin with, I'll click on add first step and we will add a trigger manually node. Okay, so what this means is it is not getting triggered by any external flows. It is getting triggered when we click on this particular button. This is the best way to start your automation, just to see how things flow. And just to keep it very simple, we will be using some example that all of you could really test out without having to create a new account or without having to pay for any platform. We are going to use most commonly used platform, Gmail. So we'll have to add the step from action in an app. But before we go there, I will want to show you once again how do we go there. So click on this plus sign and this screen opens up where you can add action in an app, which means you want to perform an action in a particular app. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. Now it is going to ask us which is the app that you want to perform an action. So I'm going to search for Gmail and just click on that. Now it's asking you what is that you want to do in Gmail. Do you want to add a label to message, delete a message, get many messages, mark a message as read, and so on and so forth. But what we want to do is send a message, right? Now it's asking us for credentials, which means for the system to be able to send an email using our Gmail account, we need to give access to our Gmail account. And this is done via a method called OAuth, right? So I'll click on this particular drop down and create new credentials. Now it will show us the OAuth method or service account. Let's go with OAuth method. And we have to click on sign in with Google. Once you click on this, it will open a pop-up where you can actually link to your Google account. So I'll be using one more account. So I'll click on that and I'll put my email address here. So I'll use one of the accounts. Once you give access to your account, basically what it does is it asks you select what N8N.cloud can access. Okay, you can select all from here, but just so that you know, you're giving access to read, compose, send, and permanently delete all your email from Gmail. Second, manage drafts and send emails when you interact with the add-on, right? Third, view your email messages when you interact with the add-on. See and edit your email labels. Manage draft and send emails. Read, compose, and send emails from your Gmail account. Okay, you could select all if you want all of it to be accessible from N8N, or you can also select only this one, read, compose, and send emails from your Gmail account, right? That's precisely what we want to be doing right now. So I'll select that and then I'll click on continue. You can see connection is successful. The window will close automatically in 5 seconds, and that's what happened here. Okay, if you want to connect one more account, you could just click on this one and connect your second account. You could be using same account into multiple automations, or you could be using different accounts for different automations. It's all your choice. Sharing, we are not sharing this with any of the users. And details, as you can see, 2 minutes ago we created this particular connection. Last modified was 2 minutes ago, and ID is this one. So I'll just close this. My Gmail account is connected. Now resource, you can either use the message one, you could use the label to label some message, you could create a draft, or you could create a thread. We will go with message to keep it simple. Operation, do you want to send it, or do you want to add label, delete, get many, whatever we saw just a while ago? We want to send it. Whom do you want to send the email to, right? So let's say I'm going to send it to abcd@rit7.com. Okay, and subject is my first N8N automation. Email type, you can have two types of email. One is text and the other one is HTML. So when you use text, you can just put plain text over here without any formatting. And if you want formatting options, then you can use HTML, where you can format the text, you can add images, you can add colors to the text, and much more. To keep it simple, let's go with text for now. And let's say, hello, this is my first automation flow using N8N. Ritesh, Hegde, ABCD. Okay, of course, from fixed, I went to expression, and this is where I've given this particular text. Now we could also go to options, click on add option, and you can see append N8N attribution, which means that you are telling the receiver that this particular email is actually being sent via N8N. If you don't want that to happen, then don't use this. You can add attachments from here. You can add a BCC from here, CC. You can add the sender name. So for example, let's say I want the sender name to be ABCD community, right? So I could do it from here. Send replies to, which means the email is actually going from one account, but if you want them to reply back to some other email account, then you can add this one. Reply to sender only, right? That means even if you have CC and BCC added, of course BCC doesn't matter, but if you have CC, when you say reply to sender only, it actually goes only to the sender and no one else. So we will just use the sender name for now. And what I'll do is I'll click on execute step. So this actually executes the step. As we can see, we have ID, we have the thread ID, we have labels, label ID, It is in sent item now. Okay, so once this is done, I'll just click somewhere and you can see that this automation is already. This is just a manual thing and this is the step that we automated. So let's quickly check how this functions, right? We've already sent an email, but I'll show you how the manual trigger works. So whenever you feel that your automation is ready and you want to test this, just go over here and click on execute workflow. You can see that this is ticked and this is also ticked. You can see workflow executed successfully. So if I go to executions from here, you can see two executions, one at 22:27:10 and one at 22:27:54, right? And no issues, both of it has run successfully. Now let's quickly check if these are in the sent items. I'll close this. So you can blur this one. And anything else? Nope, I guess. And there you go. We can see two of the items being sent. Both of it was sent at 10:27. It was just delayed by a few seconds. If I go here, you can see, hello, this is my first automation flow using N8N. Regards, Ritesh, Hegde, ABCD. Okay, this email was sent automatically with N8N. It's showing, so we'll have to remove that step. I think I missed that. Let me go back to editor. Let me go to this one. Double click and add option. And here you go. So it says, hello, this is my first automation flow using N8N. Regards, Ritesh, Hegde, ABCD. So this is appended. Let's quickly check what has happened. I'll double click on this to edit and we'll go to add options, append N8N attribute, and we will disable this, right? So once that is done, I'll click on execute step here and it should already have sent an email. You go back here, refresh it, and I can see this without any appending. And that's your first automation. I'll quickly show you how to use HTML emails, right? And for that, I'm going to ChatGPT. I'll take this particular text. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, convert this to a HTML email with formatting. So once I get the HTML email, I'll just copy this, come back to N8N, change this to HTML, change this entire thing with the HTML code that I just received. Once you do this, you can just click anywhere outside. And please remember that any changes that you do, please click on save, because that's when it gets saved. And right now this is an inactive state. Okay, and anyways, this will not make sense to make active because this is manual trigger as of now. So we will understand what is this inactive state and how do we make it activated. And we will also check out all the other options that we have in and around this editor as we move further. And let me go back to my email, just refresh this. And let's see how this looks like, right? So this is the HTML that I was talking about. And that's your first automation. We have tried both text and HTML based emails. So do not miss to try this out because the first step is always crucial. And I would request all of you watching this video, please give it a try. Okay, and follow every single video because we are going to cover from the most basic things to the intermediate level. So do not miss out. And for those of you who are not part of our community, please do join via abcd.rit7.com. And we will be having office hours, we will be having some competitions, we will be having some master classes and a lot more within the community. And you do not want to be missing that. Please invite your friends, families, and colleagues. See you in the next one.